Come on, Bobby.
Transmitting across America.
Turn it up. This is the Bobby Bones Show. Let's go.
Let me grab this call from Danielle. Danielle, appreciate you calling the show. What's going on?
Morning, studio.
Morning.
I just wanted to say, first off, Amy, stop pretending. We all know that Miranda's husband is hot. I don't think that there's any girl that would deny that. What I will say, though, is that I used to date a guy who was ripped, who really cared about his body, and we couldn't have any fun together. I'm too laid back for that lifestyle. We couldn't go have pizza night. We couldn't go have beers. So maybe what Caitlin's really telling you is not that she wants you to gain a couple of pounds, but that she wants you to relax a little bit, stop looking at the scale so much, and spend that time with her.
I get it, but if I stop worrying about exercising, I get a little soft. You can't have both.
Right. But it's like the memories and the experience and the relationships that come from. Okay.
All I'm saying is if you got to choose, you don't choose. So I'm going to make sure she doesn't have to choose. That's the only point of my story. Amy's true colors came out this morning when Miranda Lambert's husband didn't have a shirt on. She was like, oh, gosh. Oh, I wish that's what I wasn't doing. Oh, yeah.
I had no idea he looked like that.
Well, thank you for calling. Appreciate the call, Danielle. Hope you have an awesome day.
Absolutely. You guys too.
All right, let's go to the big story.
Bobby's Big
Story.
I was reading this story about a guy who is walking through the woods and a cougar is stalking him for over 6 minutes. And so I'll read you the story that I spent last night thinking about what I would do if this were the case with me. Kyle Burgess captured a terrifying, potentially life-threatening experience while hiking in Slate Canyon near Provo, Utah, when a cougar chased and stalked him. The encounter lasted more than 6 minutes, with the cougar stalking and lunging toward him with his claws out. Burgess, the guy, made loud noises and kept telling the wildcat, "Leave me alone!" But it didn't work for a long time. As of 1:25 p.m., his post had over 70,000 views. The video he posted has a lot of cursing, so I can't play all that, but here's part we pulled where the cougar lunges at him.
Go! Go! No! No! Go away! Go away! Please go away! I'm big and scary. Go away! You're good. You're a good little kitty cat. This is scary. My heart is racing. Yeah, so that just happened. Yeah, not going back that way. Oh, boy.
The cat's big, too.
Yeah, he's not small.
Did you see the video?
Mm-hmm.
So what would you do?
Well, first, I was thinking about this because I thought, what would I do? And I made myself come up with a decision really quickly because I can't think about it in real life. I don't have an hour.
Right.
So the first thing I would do is grab big rocks and start chunking them at the cat. Big rocks. Just throw. Instinct, and I think that would maybe be an okay decision. But secondly, I would, as he's coming at me, look in the woods and try to find a stick with a sharp point. And if he decided to attack me, he or she, I would just start stabbing like crazy because I know I'm going to get it. If you're going to get attacked, you might as well go down stabbing because maybe they'll not attack so much. So that's what I decided to do in like the first 3 minutes of me sitting there.
That's good stuff.
My brain went totally different.
Because you can't run. You can't get away from it.
you're
not.
That's his house.
Yeah.
What would you do?
I was like, here, kitty. And then I start rubbing his
Befriend him?
ears.
Oh.
And being like, oh, does that feel good? Right under the ear. Here, kitty.
And maybe he'll start purring and
Yeah.
be
And
cool.
then I just really massage the face and make it feel really good so that it
dumbest thing I ever heard.
I'm
I'm just kidding. But there ain't no way I'm going to be petting a cat that
I
will
know.
kill me.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just hoping that would work. But obviously what he did worked. Just pretend you're massive and huge and big and the cat should be scared of you.
Not a wild story?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. One more. Here we go.
Bobby's Other Big
Story.
Because we're talking about animals, 2 hunters in Florida have set a new record after catching a massive snake. Local officials are calling it a huge triumph. According to Ryan Osborne and Kevin Pavlidis, they caught this python that weighed 104 pounds. It is 18 feet 9 inches long.
Why do all these pythons live in Florida? They find pythons in Florida all the time.
Probably the weather, probably the climate.
I thought they lived in other countries.
The snake is 1 inch longer than the previous record holder. Think about that. It's basically a 20-foot snake. It stretches all the way across the road in this picture.
That's crazy, man.
All the way from one ditch to the other. I would not even think that was a snake.
Yeah.
Or it'd be like a train. Sometimes you see a train go by, but
Speed
you don't
bump.
see the front or the back. You just see like the middle parts of the train going by. Like you could see that with that snake. You just look over and see like the middle parts of the train going by in the woods.
Ugh.
It's speculated that this is due to that this python was maybe kept as a pet
There we
forever
go.
and ever and ever ago, and it got so much bigger. And because there are no natural predators in Florida, so a snake just goes and lives and nothing kills it.
Wow.
Especially a snake like that. Except for Ryan and Kevin.
They take
Natural
care of it.
predators. There you go. That's big news stories. Thank you. There you go.
Bobby's Big
Story.
Luke Combs, loving on you. Thank you very much. Hey, call us if you want. We'd love to talk to you. 877-77-BOBBY. That's a phone number. 877-77-BOBBY. Maybe you never called us. Do you have a question for us? Comment? Thank you, guys.
Bobby Bones. Come on.
We got this voicemail late last night.
So I am sitting here listening to your proposal story and at the gym realizing I'm crying hysterically for a person that I don't know that seems to be my best friend, but not really, and I know this. And then I look down and I have a Pimp and Joy shirt, and now I'm worried for my life of how emotional I am about someone's proposal. I don't know. But congratulations, and long-time listener, love you guys.
Thank you very much.
That's
I
awesome.
hope you feel like we're your friends. We try to share things from our life that we normally wouldn't share unless it was with a friend. It makes us a little vulnerable here on the air, but we are so appreciative that you let us ride along with you to work or as you podcast us later when you run or cook or go get the kids. We work hard to hopefully allow you to feel that way because we feel that way about you guys. So thank you for that voicemail. That means a lot to me. In the next segment, I'm going to bring on Matt Kearney, who played at my proposal. Amy has a bunch of questions for him. I'm just grateful he did it. What's one question that you're going to ask Matt Kearney?
Well, if he was ever nervous that maybe y'all would walk out and he had to hide behind the bushes because she said no or something.
Interesting question.
Like what his ditch plan was. I don't know what we call it. Exit plan.
Okay.
That's just one of them.
That's just one of them. We'll do that coming up in just a second. That'll be the next segment. Also, last night on Dancing with the Stars, Sharna and Jesse Metcalf were kicked off.
Oh.
Yeah, here's the clip of that.
The couple that I want to save is Vernon and PETA. I'm so sorry.
Okay, so that means that Jesse and Sharna have been eliminated. I'm so sorry. You guys have worked so hard, so hard.
So it stinks for Sharna. Jesse Metcalf wasn't the most likable guy, and if you can't dance and you're not likable, you go quick. Was sad for Sharna. Sharna and I talk every week, basically. So it was pretty sad for her. But again, if you either have to be a great dancer or have people love you. Listen, and I wasn't a great dancer. So he wasn't long for that show anyway. Johnny Weir, the ice skater, Caitlin Bristow, and Monica from Cheer were the top 3 last night. I'm rooting for Monica.
Me too.
And AJ McLean. Those are the ones I'm rooting for. Coming back, we'll talk with Matt Kearney, who played his only show of the year, I think, at my house for 2 people. All right, that's next.
Come on. The Bobby Bones Show. Yeah.
go over to Kayla, who left a voicemail last night. Here you go.
I was calling to get date ideas that we can do at home. My husband is coming home from his appointment soon, and this year has just been rough. So once he gets home, I'm trying to do stuff at home. So if y'all could give me ideas, that would be great.
Amy, what'd you guys do when your husband would come back?
I mean, I would always go pick him up from the airport, and he was exhausted. So I did plan on dinner at home, and I would have something already ready, not a lot of prep work. Have like his favorite drink, all of his favorite things, basically, because when he was overseas, he didn't have access to a lot of that. So I think that that's a special way. I mean, I don't know what all you and your husband are into, but you could pick out, make sure you've got the favorite movie loaded, downloaded, or streaming ready to go. Set up a little picnic in your backyard. I don't know. There's ways to make it special for sure, but they're so tired when they come home. Just
That's a good point.
Respect the fact that he might want sleep, but you may know this. And then maybe you have a date night like the next night or the following.
That's good advice there. A couple things. Yesterday, I was able to announce that I'll be going back to American Idol this season.
Yep.
It was a little dicey for a while because I'm in the middle of doing my own show on National Geographic Channel, which will start next year, and we're shooting it now basically every weekend all the way to the end of the year. So I didn't know because I talked to Luke Bryan last night. He called me about Caitlin and I in our proposal, and they've started. So he's already going, and he's like, yeah, it's a little different so far. Everything's distance, obviously. I think they're all spread out, the judges. So, and I just couldn't get there till December, January. But luckily, the people at Idol were like, hey, we just want to have you back. So I got to announce yesterday that I'm returning for my 4th season on American Idol. So I'll go and mentor, and I was reading some comments, and most were nice, but there were a couple of, I hate them and you can't dance. They're still holding Dancing with the Stars against me. It's still that same group. I know. Yeah. I'm like, guys, I actually am kind of good at what I do on this show. On Dancing with the Stars, I was terrible. I know that. But they were like, we still hate him. You can't dance.
Okay.
So, but it was great. And the favor that I would ask from our listeners, if you see American Idol post something like that, because there are those mean people, if you'll just flood it with, hey, never even knew him until American Idol. Love him. That kind of stuff.
Wow. Yeah.
That helps me.
Thanks for introducing us to Bobby Bones.
Well, our
we
life
can't
has
do
changed.
that, right?
What?
Because they'll know that we know you already.
Who cares?
Okay, cool.
I don't think they'll go dig. They're not gonna.
Dude, I didn't know you before Idol.
Who cares?
I didn't watch Idol before you were on it,
Amy,
actually.
you met him in
Maybe
like
we say
2002,
that.
Amy.
Yeah.
That would be true, though,
Yeah.
for you. There were a lot of trolls yesterday. I saw that a local Fox station had posted that I'm engaged. They said, Bobby Bones is now engaged. And then there were 3 different people went, who's the dude he's married? He's engaged to. And I was like, what's... Why?
Guys.
And if I was, who cares?
I get it.
So, yeah, it was Troll City yesterday. So that was a thing. And then there was a story yesterday. I'll just roll through these real quick because I know I mentioned them. The headline was, I think it was on People, severely colorblind Bobby Bones tricked fiance into proposal by asking for help with paint.
I saw that headline.
That was the headline.
Interesting.
That's what they ran with. Severely colorblind Bobby Bones tricked fiance into proposal. I did.
Sounds so romantic.
Wow, was that your motive? Was that your plan the whole time?
Yes.
I'm colorblind and I can't.
Yeah.
No, that is
that's how
it.
he got her
That's how
down
he got
to
her
the
down there,
barn.
'cause
That's how
otherwise-
I got her down to the barn.
That's crazy. That's the headline they ran with because I didn't pick up on that at all.
Oh.
Well, that's how I got her to go look down at paint.
That's
Because otherwise
hilarious.
she would just be like,
Yeah, because they
just
had
pick whatever you
dinner
want.
and they walked down there at 6:09, and then he proposed at 6:11.
Funny.
Yeah.
Do you remember the proposal?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. You got down on one knee and then told her, yeah.
Apparently, and I don't remember this part of it, when I got down to propose, I opened the ring box and I was like, hey, will you marry me? And then she said yes. And then we just stood there and she was like, are you supposed to put this on my finger? I didn't realize that I didn't do that either. And I was like, yeah. And then once I remembered, I pulled it up and tried to stick it on her finger, but it was tight. And I was like, no. And I just kept pushing. And then it finally went on the finger and I was like, oh. But apparently it's supposed to be kind of tight so it doesn't come off.
Yeah, that way it doesn't come off. Because then once it gets past the knuckle, then it's a little loose on there. I tried it on. It is tight. But it fit once I got it on. And then my hand
You put
fell.
on...
Yeah, yesterday. Just for a second.
Amy came over to the house for a while, and her son brought Caitlin big sunflowers, and he was fully dressed up in his Superman uniform.
Mm-hmm.
He got it, huh?
Yeah, we got it. He's Superman for Halloween. So, and he's probably going to be wearing it every day until then and maybe after, and I don't care.
He wears it every day?
Yeah, I mean, he's not, once we're on fall break, so once he's back in school, he can't, but I assume anytime he's at home, he's going to have that thing on. So it's fine.
On the phone right now is Matt Kearney, who has a new album, Until We Meet Again. It is his new live album. He's also the friend who came and played at my little proposal show. We'll call it a show because it's there he is, Matt Kearney, everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt, how are you, man? Good morning.
Good, man. It was like Black Ops. We had to like hide in the bushes with a guitar. And we got the text to go ahead, and I was running through your bushes. It was a lot of fun.
Well, and I had to make sure people didn't go through the backyard because we have a big window in the back, all the way across the back that you can see out of. So I would have to send a text to be like, okay, you can now go. And then I'd have to like block her from walking in the living room. At one point, I was like, I have a zit on my chest. Will you pop it? It wasn't ready to be popped, but I let her have at it because I couldn't have her walking out. So yeah.
It was fun. I was genuinely really nervous because didn't want to be seen, didn't want to blow the surprise. So it was up there with like late night TV. I was stressing.
Well, Matt, how did Bobby first reach out to you about this? And had you ever done anything like this before? And was it an immediate yes? Or were you kind of like, I don't know?
How did you? I think you texted me.
Yeah, I just texted him.
And no, it sounded awesome. I mean, my schedule is packed for 2020, so I thought that that's sarcastic. No, I've been a fan of Bobby, and you've been a good friend, and it's been so fun to watch you guys fall in love. And yeah, of course I said yes. So it sounded like actually a fun way to spend a Sunday.
I felt awkward. I don't ask people for anything.
Yeah, I know.
I struggle with asking for any help at all.
Curious.
But I knew that was important. It would be important to me and important to her. And I also know and really like Matt. And so I sent him a message. The first message I sent him was on Instagram because I just saw he was on, and I just replied. I was like, hey, man, are you in town the 11th? And then he didn't reply for like a whole day, and I was like, great. Because you can see where you say see it. Mm-hmm. And it had said seen for a whole day, and I was like, I just awkwardly asked, and he's not going to be able to do it, and he doesn't know how to tell me. And I didn't this whole, and we're never going to talk again, and we're not friends anymore. I went down this whole rabbit hole in my head of where this went. But then he was like, hey, I'm away. We're recording stuff right now. Yes, would love to do it. So then we just kind of, figured it out that way.
I was on my video shoot pretending we have a new song coming out, and I can't tell anybody, but I'll tell you because no one's listening really, I'm sure. But that's a joke too. But
no, we're like, yeah, we agree.
We got it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
I'm playing this like 70s cowboy golfer that's trying to make it on this like semi-pro tour. So I was like in character out in the woods, like swinging golf clubs. It was so ridiculous. And I saw your text and I realized I didn't respond. I was like, he probably thinks I'm hanging him out to dry. But no, I was like in weird plaid bell bottoms, like out in the sticks, trying to pretend to be a golfer at the time.
So when you were waiting for the proposal to go down, because then afterwards they came out and then you were supposed to start playing, but did you have a exit plan for like if for whatever unknown reason Caitlin were to have said no?
I didn't, and I was like, I hope this goes well because this will be his least favorite song ever then.
What about when they came out and they're dancing and it's just you playing? Was it awkward?
No. I mean, they were genuinely, there's like, it's just going to be me playing on a PA and two people dancing. I was like, that's a first, never done that. But no, she was genuinely so surprised and happy. And I remember when I proposed to my wife, you're definitely in your own world a little bit. So they were just genuinely so happy and like, she was crying and was so shocked. It was just really special. So no, it wasn't awkward at all. It was really sweet, actually.
I hear you brought your daughter to when you tested the sound out at the house on Saturday, and her face lit up. That's what everybody was saying. Her face lit up when you started playing. Do your kids think it's cool when you play music? I know your other one's a baby.
The baby thinks it's the coolest, actually. So she just laughs every time I play. Yeah, they do. Olive's starting. My oldest is starting to say like, I'm a singer, so she thinks she's a singer, and she joins in on every time I start singing a song, which is sometimes annoying, but it's really sweet.
Matt Kearney, his new live album, Until We Meet Again, is available now. He recorded it. I went to this show. This is where, the show we went to in Oklahoma City, because I took Caitlin to a Thunder game, and I texted Matt during, or maybe he sent me a message going, hey, we're down the road playing in Oklahoma City. Whatever the case was, after the basketball game, we went over and watched the last 6 or 7 songs. And, that was then. She was like, that's when I knew that I loved you. And I was like, great, because I'm a big fan of Matt, too, and it all worked out. But this tour, he put out a whole live record of it when he recorded in Indiana, New Hampshire, Alabama, and Tennessee. And you guys can check it out now. And he also has vinyls that you can order at mattkearney.com. MAT1T KEARNEY. How'd you feel about putting out a live record? Is this the new music you're putting out, or is this just like a placeholder?
No, we've got new music coming out in like literally a couple of weeks. It was just, I don't know, I guess I just miss people. I haven't been able to play shows, and I brought someone along to record this tour, and it was a really special tour for me, just kind of having no band and, playing songs acoustically. So I thought we'd put it out. But yeah, it's definitely just like a little moose-bouche of the musical menu this year, I guess.
Well, check it out, mattkearney.com. I'm a big fan. Matt, appreciate you again. I know I've told you 10,000 times off the air, but thank you again. And, hey, we'll check out the new music when it comes out, too. Can't wait for it.
Bobby, so happy for you, man. It was an honor to be there.
All right, there he is. Matt Kearney. Get that signed vinyl. There's only a few of them left. mattkearney.com. All right, there he is. Matt Kearney.
Yeah.
Thanks, Matt. Talk to you soon, buddy. All right. Yeah, I wondered, too, if it was awkward to play for 2 people, but it wasn't. We were singing the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, we get to the final part of the song, we were just singing it back. Here you go. Here is some of the live of Nothing Left to Lose. This is a song you played at my house, but this is from the live record.
We're seeking like we were freaking. Push the pedal down, watch the world around fly by us. Come on and we'll try one last time. Off with the floor, one more time to find you. And here we go, there's nothing left to choose. And here we go, there's nothing left to lose.
I had a couple friends differently reached out and said, hey, Matt Kearney played at my church. He used to be a Christian, only doing Christian music.
Really? I
He
didn't
won a
know
bunch
that.
of double words.
Oh, wow.
But he was like, back in the day before he blew up, he played at my church.
That's cool.
Oh, awesome.
So anyway, that was cool. Glad he would come on the show here. Renee in Wichita, Kansas, you are on the show. What's going on?
So I had a quick question for you, Bobby. I wondered if you would contribute the quarantine and COVID for the relationship that you now have and being engaged here October 2020.
I would say the speed of it was affected a little bit by it, for sure. I wouldn't say the relationship at all. We were already, it was going great, and, we were going back and forth. I think that because we had to just cohabitate quicker, it moved the timeline just a little bit. And I also think the fact that it was like, well, what are you going to do when quarantine's over? Because the quarantine's not happening now. But when quarantine's over, it was like, am I going to move back? And I was like, no, you're not. You should just move here. So I think it slightly affected the timing, but I think it would have been the same. I mean, I just found the right person,
Yep, I do. Well, congratulations to you guys.
Thank you very much. Hope you have a great day.
You too. Thanks.
All right, call us if you want. We'll get off this, but call us if you want. 877-77-BOBBY. Eddie's kids know a curse word now, and they didn't know it.
Oh.
Well, and how it happened was so funny.
So weird.
No, hilarious.
And random.
And we'll do that coming up in the next segment here, and we'll take your calls. Bobby Bone Show.
This is the Bobby Bone Show.
go over to Josh, who is calling us from Mississippi. Hey, Josh, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going? First of all, I love y'all, and Bobby, congratulations on your engagement. It's beautiful.
Thanks, bud.
My question for you is, I saw on TikTok, you don't usually reach out to artists. You said that. But I saw on TikTok you reached out to Sarah Beth, and I can't remember her last name. I'm curious, did she respond? Did we get to hear her on our show, hear her on your show?
So, have you guys seen this?
Yes.
So on TikTok, a lot of country artists just post them singing, a lot of unsigned country artists. And her name is Sarah Beth Tate. And she posted this on TikTok where she's playing. Ray, can you play some of her song, please? She said, I've been writing songs in Nashville for 6 years. I've never had a record deal or a song on the radio. And she's writing this as her song's playing over the top. But in the last few weeks, so all I did was do a duet video beside her so they show her at the same time. And when she said, hey, I just moved to Nashville 6 years ago, I'm like, oh, I moved here 8 years ago. Then she said, I have never been on the radio or had a record deal. And I was like, oh, well, funny thing, I have the biggest country morning show in the history of the world. We're all over the place. And then she was like, I'm doing this on Instagram. People are watching this video. I was like, wow, wow, wow. And then I was like, hey, why don't you come play on the show? Let's do it. So she did respond in the messages. She said, OMG, crying in my living room right now. Thank you so much. Talk soon. And then Mike D reached out to her. She's coming in next week.
Yeah, her manager emailed and said he'll come in next week, or she'll come in next week.
He only comes in without her.
He'll be
so,
here.
honestly, except for this one TikTok, I haven't heard her. But I thought, let's give somebody a shot.
That's
That's
cool.
awesome.
People all gave us a shot. But I'm on TikTok, too, Mr. Bobby Bones. Although they won't verify me for some reason.
I mean, you would freak me out, dude. If I put a video up and then you send one back with you doing a duet with me, that's awesome. Like, really, that was pretty cool.
Well, I hope you guys check it out. I'm always looking. A guy I saw on TikTok once, I wrote with them. I was like, hey, you're funny. Come right at the house and wrote with them. So I'm always looking for ways. I think that's
awesome.
kind of the new way that I look.
TikTok?
Yeah, it used to be heavy YouTube, and I would go to streaming playlists, but those are so political, and especially the streaming playlists, and there's a little corruption there, I would say. So I don't even look at that anymore because it's just favors at this point.
Yeah.
So I'll go to TikTok and look and hit the country music hashtag and find country artists who aren't signed who are posting.
Wow. Okay.
So, yeah, appreciate that. Hey, Josh, thanks for bringing that up. I'd forgotten all about that, but thanks for bringing that up, man.
No, thank you, and I think it's a wonderful thing. You all have a beautiful day.
All right, man.
You do.
People have helped me out, so why should I, refrain from helping other folks out? Who knows? She comes in and she kills it. Great. She comes in and she does fine. She'll take it and go, well, that was a cool experience. I wonder how I can get better from this. I get my first shot at the big leagues. So, yeah, looking forward to that very much so. What did I tease before we left?
Oh, my kids have
Oh, that's what it was. Speaking of social media, I saw this on your Instagram story.
Yeah.
All right, tell them what happened.
All right, so I'm watching Big. All the kids are there. We're all watching it because it's on a channel called Freeform, which is family friendly. They take regular movies and they censor them to where they don't have bad words or they take out the bad scenes or whatever. So I'm like just enjoying the fact that we can watch a movie without worrying about that. And then this part comes where one of the kids in Big says a-hole. They say that word.
But the real word.
They say the word.
Yeah.
And they've been bleeping other words throughout the movie. But in this one, they left the A word and bleeped the whole word.
So they left A and bleeped whole.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, like, why did they bleep the wrong one?
Or if they should have bleeped the whole thing.
Because kids, what they do is when they see this stuff, they're like, oh, a bleep. There was something in there. But it's connected to whole. Or it's connected to the A word. So they know the A word. They say the A word out loud. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, why did you do this TV channel?
So your kids are cursing. Who was running that button? Who's the editor?
Right.
Because, again, they should have edited A and whole.
Exactly.
All of it.
Right.
And if for some reason they're like, we're feeling a little frisky today, you just bleep the A, you hear beep hole.
Yeah. Because to
definitely
me, that's
don't go,
the bad word.
Yeah.
Maybe the whole makes the A.
It does, it does, yes.
So they're like, if
but the whole by itself doesn't.
Correct. Hole is a hole in the wall, a hole in the ground.
No, I get it. Yeah.
Because it could have been butthole.
Correct.
Someone maybe
Sinkhole.
was just.
Man, and they were nailing the whole movie. Like, they're just getting every word. I'm like, oh, this is
They
fantastic.
probably just threw one in there for fun. Eddie.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate that.
Just to see if anyone was watching.
Yeah, we're watching.
All right. Let's play Morgan Wallen, More Than My Hometown. Grab some more of these calls, too. 877-77-BOBBY. Thank you.